Hello everyone. In today's video, I will discuss about Talcott-Parsons pattern variables. Talcott-Parsons focused on social order, social structure, social system, and many more aspects of the society. He was particularly interested about social order. For him, social order has to be presented through sociological theory, through social theory. And according to him, social theory can only present social order. He believes that social theory must consist of certain empirical realities and abstract realities, and combination of both empirical and abstract realities can present social order in the more orderly way. So for him, just mere representation or reproduction of the empirical realities cannot present the social order. So social theory for him is the way of presenting social order, and his works focused on the social order, how to maintain our social order, how to understand social order. So in regard to that, we will discuss about the pattern variables. So Talcott person basically mentioned about various components of the social order. That is, social order can be maintained through various elements, through various components. So what are the various components? Various components are values, norms, pattern variables, then the social equilibrium, then agile model, etc. And in this video, I will particularly focus on pattern variable concept of Talcott-Parsons. So pattern variable is one of the many component or elements of the social order. So in order to understand pattern variable, we have to take the reference of his understanding of social action, that is action process. For him, action is a process. Social action or action is a process, and this process of action is the combination of two important entities. One is actor, another one is situation. Mere presence of actor is not enough for action process, and mere situation is also not able to produce any action. So there must be actor and the situation. So the actor acts in a particular situation, and the process of action starts, or process of action goes on. And in this regard, he also explained about the actor. Actor for him is not just an individual or a physical personality, or it's not just a individual personality. It's not just an individual self. Rather, actor involves other aspects like collectivities, collective actions, uh, various other social and cultural shared values, norms, many such aspects which is involved in the actor. Actor is not just one person or one particular individual or a self or a personality who is expressing himself or herself in a way. No, actor is a part of the whole process. So actor and situation makes the process of action. So we need to understand how the action system is related to the pattern variable. For him, for Talcott person, the pattern variable is a classifying scheme for understanding action system. As I have already mentioned, there are two structural elements of the action system: action and actor and situation. And he also explained about the actor. So to understand this relationship between actor and situation, Talcott Parsons used pattern variable. This pattern variable is a classifying scheme. It is a device or a method or a technique of understanding the relationship between actor and the situation. That is action process how action process continues, how action process goes on, how action process maintains and leads to a social order in the society, because ultimately his main focus is on social order. So how action system contributes in the process of social order. So for that he conceptualized the pattern variables. Talcott Parsons mentioned about two sets of pattern variables. So these two sets of pattern variables are related to the action system. So what are these two sets of pattern variables? One is orientation, another one is modalities. So these two sets of pattern variable I am explaining now. So first set of pattern variable associated with the action system is orientation. Orientation means the relationship between actor with objects. There are various objects in the society: social object and natural objects, which human beings, which individuals use for societal purpose, for various other cultural purpose, economic purpose, and lives with it. So these objects and its relationship with the individuals, it's called orientation. Here I have mentioned about two sets of variables, there is orientation and modalities. So orientation has two categories of the variables. What are the two categories? Diffuseness and specificity, affectivity and neutrality. So first I will explain about diffuseness and specificity. So diffuseness means individuals relationship with the objects, which is broad, which is inclusive, and which also involves personal attachment, emotional attachment, also involves other important like community, kinship, religious, linguistic, societal uh, aspects. And here individual maintains a very broad network of relationship. Opposite to this diffuseness is specificity. In this specificity, individuals maintains relationship with the object, but it is very specific for a particular purpose. So basically, it is in the form of professional relationship, and this professional relationship exists in the professional organization, where individual maintains relationship with all the other objects for a particular purpose, not for the purpose of maintaining social, cultural, religious, or linguistic relationship. No, it is for a particular purpose. So the specificity. So two kinds of relationship individual maintains with the objects for different situations. So here situation also coming into consideration. Based on two situation, individual is performing or acting in different way. The second category of the pattern variables under orientation is affectivity and neutrality. Affectivity means relationship of individual with other persons based on the affection, based on the individual's emotion. Here individual uses or actor uses emotions, maybe spiritual emotion, maybe the personal emotion, the closeness, and other various community attachment, societal attachment, the clan based relationship, kinship based relationship. All these things are there in this affectivity. where individuals maintains a very personal network, but opposite to this effectivity is neutrality. In this case, individuals cannot act, or individuals don't act as far as the as far as emotion and the other attachment. No, individual here or actor acts as per the uniform rules, norms, regulations. Here, individual maintains a neutrality. Individual cannot be biased towards a particular terms, towards a particular relationship. Individuals here acts according to the uniform societal or cultural or the administrative or bureaucratic or state norms, rules, regulations, laws. So again, two situation and two different kinds of acts individuals performing or doing in the society. So this is the orientation of the individuals towards the various objects. An individual also understand the situation. Based on the situation, individual acts, as I have already mentioned. Suppose here I am giving one example. The actor, which is a officer in a office, and this person's son is also working in the same office. So in the office, the person cannot express, cannot show or manifest his emotional or his personal bond or relationship or attachment with the son, because in the office he has to be he has to show the specificity and neutrality. He has to be specific for maintaining relationship. For a particular purpose, he has to maintain relationship, and he has to be neutral under the guidelines of law, rules, regulations. But in the opposite case, in whom he cannot be officer like office, he has to be a father of a son, and father son relationship has to be maintained. Otherwise, there would not be any order. If father starts behaving like officer in the home, in the family, then the family order would be disturbed. And if father starts working, expressing or behaving like the father in the office, then again there would be a disorder in the system. So this is how orientation is very important for maintaining social order, and the social order is linked to action system that I have already explained. Now comes the second set of pattern variable, that is modalities. Modalities means what? Modalities means the meaning of the object for individuals. That is how individual attach meaning to particular object or objects. As I have said, there are many objects: societal objects, natural objects, which is socially incorporated into the society. So various objects are there. So what are the meaning of these objects for individuals? This is called modalities. So this modality has again two categories of pattern variables. One category of pattern variable is uh, ascribed quality, and another one is achieved performance. So ascribed quality, individual uh, inherits, actually the qualities which individual inherits as a member of particular family, as a member of a particular community, society. He has certain inherited qualities which he cannot live, which he cannot ignore. But again, here individual or actor has to use particular meaning for particular action according to the situation. The person cannot always express or show his ascribed qualities. Sometimes he has to, or in a particular situation or situations, he has to show the achieved performance. Achieved performance means the performance which he achieved based on his own skill, specialization, or qualification, or his interest, or his works, and many more. So he has to attach meaning for a particular object as either achieved or ascribed. For example, there is a competition, there is a competition between two person and one actor who is judging this competition. Now how the actor will attach meaning towards this particular competition, whether based on ascribed qualities or achieved performance. If he attach meaning according to the ascribed qualities, then it would be partiality, it would be biasness. So here achieved performance criteria has to be used for judging the competition. So in this way, individual attaches meaning with the various objects in various situations. Second category of pattern variable under modalities is uh, universalism and particularism. Particularism means the individual's attachment, individual's action, individual's relationship with other person which is very particular to him or her. Individuals, parents, siblings, wife, children, and any other relatives within the family, kinship, or clan network, individuals maintains a personal network, a particular network. And in this case, individual attach personal meaning, particular meaning, any object associated with these family members, any situation which is related to the family, related to clan or society or clan or community, individual attach different meaning, individuals become very particular. But in the case of any professional organization, in the case of any social organization, individual has to attach meaning of the universalism. That means that means individual has to express his universalistic behavior. He has to follow universalistic norms, rules, and regulations. He cannot be particular. He has to follow universal standard of the behavior or action. That is the situation, and this situation demands a particular action, whether it is particularistic action or universalistic action. So if the situation demands that it should be universalistic action, then individual has to show the universalistic action. Suppose in the office, so individual cannot be partial towards anybody just because this person is from his or her family or clan or religion. No, person has to show universalistic attitudes or behaviors. So this is how various objects can be meaningful for individuals depending on the situation. Suppose a police personnel, a government official, or bureaucrats who serves the public. Now, in the public, there are people who may be from his or her family, who may be from his or her linguistic community, who the public may be from his own religious community. But how do he attach meaning to particular the object, particular phenomena? particular social reality that exists, that is going on in the society, related to the public. So here, this officer, this civil servant, this bureaucrat or police personnel use the universalistic and the universalistic principle, that is follows the universalistic rules, regulations and laws. This is how he attach meaning for a particular situation. So these are the four pattern variables. These pattern variables are actually the variation of individual's action according to the situation. That is how actor and situations maintain the relationship, how individual attach meaning to different objects. And this ultimately, these all pattern variables are the part of the action system, and action system ultimately contributes in the process of social order. So in today's video, I have explained one particular element of the social order, that is pattern variable. In the previous videos, I have also discussed about the agile model and social equilibrium, and of course I will continue this discussion in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.